Just a bit more about Paschimottonasana. I've just had my lunch actually, so never mind. um, so sometimes you hear spread the flesh from the sit bones. That just feels horrible. Now I feel like my sit bones are actually on the floor. I can feel how cold the floor is in my bones. So why do you want to move the protection that your skeleton has out of the way? Another weird thing I've heard is to allow the sit bones to bloom like flowers. In other words, like this kind of opening or unfolding, shining. I've heard this as well. You don't want your sit bones to be exposed or bursting open. Again, this might mean that your hamstrings are unprotected. I'm talking about where the hamstrings join on to the back of the hips. So you want to keep everything intact and secure and safe. A lot of mistakes people make in Paschimottonasana is simply not working hard enough. So you might see yogis come to specific classes, maybe it's always the same class, the same teacher. They come to Paschimottonasana and the Paschimottonasana has looked the same for 5 years or more. Why? Because it is a comfortable position to be in, a forward fold. It's calming, it's introspective, it lowers the heart rate. Okay, these might be welcome after a more active class. And remember, in many dynamic vinyasa classes, Paschimottanasana may be done at the end, the very end of the class, or if not, at least towards the end of the class when they do a few poses that are floor-based. So people forget to work. So all the standing poses are there to activate your legs, to make sure that you're alive and active when you come to do your seated poses. So your legs should be working as hard as they are in your downward dogs and your upward dogs and your handstands when you're on the floor, right? The second thing is the bandhas. So you want to think of everything from the pelvic floor to the navel as being active on your breath constantly. Everything else for me is more or less relaxed. Okay, so I'm active from my feet to my hips to my pelvic floor to my navel. Everything above that, head, chest, shoulders, neck, face, relaxed. Instead, you find the opposite, and actually people relax the belly, don't come in too far, and then do all of the work with the arms, all huffing and puffing, and the shoulders come forward. And often the legs are inactive as well. You can tell this because the thighs are not well showing, and the feet may roll out, the toes may be kind of soft. So I prefer actually a pointed foot at the moment, but either flexed or pointed. Activate your feet, activate your legs, activate your bandhas, and then relax everything up from the chest. So I think actually a nice way to instruct Paschimottanasana is instead of saying inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold, which creates more tension where you've already folded. I was thinking about this a lot actually, how to explain this. It's not relax. It's more of an inhale, lengthen, find your bandhas of course, and exhale, how about flex and breathe. Full expansive inhales into the upper body and long slow exhalations, contracting and lifting the pelvic floor and the lower abdomen. The inhale again is expansive and the exhale closes in. And I can feel that from head to toe. So, yeah, a few more comments on the forward bend. What are your comments, guys? What do you love or hate about this posture? What weird things have you heard about it? And yeah, talk to me.